Hi everyone, Metal Breakdown here. So today with this video we will do something completely different than what I usually do on this channel. So if this video does well, we might do more of these kinds of videos. So make sure to tell me right away in the comment section if you like this type of video, because if so I might do a lot more in the near future. Basically what I'll do in this video is try to rank all the MCU's Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, from the worst to the best. We currently have 23 movies. The last one of them was released yesterday. It's called Spider-Man Far From Home, the second Spider-Man in the MCU. And I went to saw it and I was pretty damn excited, and I'm really happy with the results. So that pushed me today to say, hey, let's make a video ranking all the movies in the MCU. And by the way, I'm not like a super long time fan, so I might make mistakes because some of the movies I have seen them only once for some of them. Because yeah, I saw some of them like when they were released at the movie theater, but I only became a real fan with Black Panther last year when I saw it at the movie theater. It's after that I said, oh, now it's time to watch all the fucking movies in the MCU, and ever since I've been a huge fucking fan. So now let's try to rank all of them. I will not talk that much about each and every one of them because I don't want the video to be too long. I want you guys to stay tuned until the end and not just skip through it because it's too long. So I won't speak more than 20 to 30 seconds for each films, I would say. So we'll try to do that. So let's do this, guys, for the ranking of all the movies in the MCU. So in the last place in this list, I'm putting The Incredible Hulk, which was a film with Edward Norton, who played Hulk in that film. It's not the case anymore. They changed up the actor because I think there was a deal with some company, and after that it did not really work out. So yeah, now The Incredible Hulk is not played by Edward Norton anymore. And yeah, the reason why I don't really like that movie, well, I like it, but compared to all the other movies in the MCU, it's not that great because it's just not that entertaining, and the big bad guy is not that entertaining as well. So that's why in the 22nd place, guys, I went with Thor: The Dark World, which is a movie I had the chance to see at the movie theater when it was released in 2013. It's great, but it's just a bit too long for what it is, and not that good compared to the other Thor movies. But you'll see, I'm not really a huge fan of the Thor trilogy. I love the character, but for his own movie, you'll see they're not that high in my top, but you'll see that later. After that, in the 21st position, I went with Iron Man 2. So yeah, I love the character of Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr. It was my favorite character before Endgame. You know what happened. But yeah, Iron Man 2 is just not that great, especially with the ending and all the kind of Iron Man robots flying around. I did not really like that. It's also like that for Iron Man 3, but you'll see that movie is way higher in my top, way better done, so I'll talk about that later. Also, the bad guy in Iron Man 2, the one with the electric chains, that was pretty bad. I did not really like him. After that, we have in the 20th position Ant-Man, a movie that was released way back in, not way back, but back in 2015. It's a good movie to start the Ant-Man trilogy, probably the less popular superhero right now in the franchise, but the movies are still doing pretty good, I think. The first Ant-Man did $500 million dollars at the box office, so it's not that bad, but definitely the less popular. So yeah, it was just a good movie, but nothing crazy and nothing more than that. After that, guys, in the 19th position, we have the very first Iron Man. Great way to start the franchise. Pretty cool to see Tony building up the suit, and the ending battle is pretty good, but they can do so much better, and that's what they prove later on in the MCU. But for a first movie, that was pretty damn good. After that, in the 18th position, we have the first Thor. I like the bad guy in this one. I also really like the beginning when everyone is trying to grab the hammer, but no one is able to do it. It's really interesting to see the first visit of Thor on Earth. There's also a really cool love story that will continue in the Dark World, which I already talked about. But yeah, it was just a good movie, nothing more than that. After that, we have Thor Ragnarok in the 17th place. Probably some people will try to crucify me for putting that movie solo, and it was definitely a shift of direction for Marvel at this point, because it's setting something new in the MCU, because the movie is kind of a comedy at the same time. It's really funny, and it's a thing they're doing really well, and this movie was not an exception. But like I said, I'm not like a huge fan of the Thor solo movie, so that might be why I did not enjoy it that much. But it was definitely a good movie. A movie I only watched once so far, but I can't wait to watch it again already. After that, in the 16th place, we have Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which featured a lot of Bucky Barnes, storyline that will continue in the Civil War. It's a good movie, doing a lot for the MCU with Hydra and everything like that. The ending of the movie is also really crazy. It's a really good movie, but the worst Captain America solo movie in my opinion. After that, in the 15th position, we have Captain Marvel, a movie that was released this year. A lot of people online are really bashing it. In my opinion, it's really not that bad, and it's even pretty good. It was average for the MCU, I would say. That's why it's in the 15th position. Definitely the worst one that was released this year, but it was interesting, and I would definitely be open to see a Captain Marvel 2 in the next couple of years. That could be interesting. So yeah, in the 14th position, I think, I decided to put Ant-Man and the Wasp just above Captain Marvel. Way better than the first movie in my opinion. All the pursuit in San Francisco. Sorry, some books just fell. So yeah, the thing in San Francisco at the end of the movie was great. They did a really good job. The bad guy, I think it's Ghost or something like that. Not the greatest one, but still pretty entertaining. And yeah, it was fun to watch, especially the post-credit scene with people starting to disappear just like in Infinity War. It's cool that they did that, and it was fun to have that movie just before Captain Marvel and Endgame. In the 13th position, I went with Avengers: The Age of Ultron. The worst Avengers in my opinion, but not a bad movie. There's some pretty great scene in that one. Like the big Iron Man fighting the Hulk. That was great, probably the best moment of the film in my opinion. The ending with the great battle and the destruction of a city and everything. Good movie, but you'll see, I'll talk later about the other Avengers movie. They're just even better. In the 12th position, I went with Doctor Strange, which is another movie I only saw once so far. And I really want to see that movie again, because usually it would be really my fucking type of movie. So knowing that, I would expect myself to rank higher than that. So maybe it will change a bit on the second listen, but I really enjoyed the ending with Dr. Stephen Strange trapping, I think it was Dormammu in the time loop. That was great. There's also some really cool special effects in the movie. There's also a lot of that in Infinity War, so I cannot wait for Doctor Strange 2. I feel like they might do an even better job, and I can't wait to watch Doctor Strange again. In the 11th position, I went with Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. It was a good movie. I saw it for the first time like a year ago when I was rewatching all the movies from the MCU. Great one, but not as good as its sequel, and I'm sure a lot of people will disagree on that, but I'll tell you why later. The sequel is even better. But yeah, definitely a great introduction to all these characters. I remember when I saw the trailer for this movie the first time, I was like, oh, this will be so fucking bad, but the two Guardians movie are among the best of the MCUs. Now with the top 10, in the 10th position, I went with Iron Man 3. Such a great movie with the destruction of the house of Tony Stark. The kid was also there at the funeral in Endgame. And my favorite scene from that movie is definitely the one with the plane. I don't know, I just loved it so much, it was great. In the 9th position, I went with Avengers Infinity War. I already watched that movie 3 times. It's so good, so well done, especially the ending, which is like the biggest, what's the word again, when you're waiting for something, cliffhanger. The biggest cliffhanger of all time, with half of the heroes just disappearing into dust. So I had to wait fucking year to see Endgame. But you'll see where the movie will rank. That paid off pretty fucking well. After that, guys, in the 9th position, we have the very first Avengers, and this movie is kind of the reason why Iron Man 3 was ranking so high for me, because it's really like the follow-up to that movie, because Tony Stark is really dealing with what happened in this first Avengers movie. They just did such a great job, and it was a great first step to introduce so many heroes together, like what we have in Infinity Wars and Endgame. And that Battle of New York at the end of the movie with all the aliens and everything. One of my favorite part of the entire MCU. Such a great movie and such a great part. All the actors did such a great job in that one. In the 7th position, I'm going with Captain America, the First Avenger. It's really different because it's set in the past. I think it's in the 40s. That was fantastic. Really loved the Red Skull. I was so happy to see him again in Infinity War. One of the greatest villains of the MCU, in my opinion. And yeah, such a cool way to introduce the very first Avenger. Yeah, that's basically why I love this movie so much. After that, in the 6th position, I went with Spider-Man Homecoming. It was not really the introduction to Spider-Man in the MCU, because he was first introduced in Civil War, but his first movie with Robert Downey Jr. also in it, that was great. I rewatched it this week before going to watch Spider-Man Far From Home, and it's really that great. Michael Keaton as the Vulture is also perfect, and it's a cool movie. It's really that great. After that, guys, in the 5th position, I went with Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Star-Lord meeting his father. There's also the blue guy, which is kind of the second father of Star-Lord. I can't believe I forgot his name, but he dies at the end. That was fantastic. Really sad ending. Also, Gamora and Nebula kind of rejoining and having a relationship as sisters again, which will be really important for Endgame. So yeah, really fun movie, and I remember also watching that movie at the theater when it came out. And in the 4th position, I went with Spider-Man Far From Home. I don't know if it's only because I was like hype as fuck yesterday after coming out of the theater, but god damn, what a movie. I was on the edge of my seat for the entire movie, especially like the last part, but the first half of the movie is as good because it's more like funny, comedic, like the last Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok. That kind of movie at the beginning with the teenage romance topic. That was really funny, and they just did such a great job. That was the last movie of Phase 3. And I can't fucking wait to see what we'll have in Phase 4. The 2 post-credit scenes are also leading up to some cool stuff that we'll see in Phase 4. I'm not talking about that right now though, because I assume some people have not watched the movie yet. In the 3rd position, guys, I went with Captain America Civil War, introducing Black Panther, introducing Spider-Man, and Ant-Man just meeting some of the other Avengers for the first time. Some great battles in that movie, and it was almost an Avengers movie, even though it's more on Captain America, obviously, since it's one of his movies. But yeah, a really great one. I love the fight with Bucky, Chris Evans' character, Captain America, Steve Rogers, and Tony Stark. That's really a great part. Another one of my favorite fight scene with the airports fight in this movie as well. In the 2nd place, guys, I went with Black Panther because it's that great. It's beautiful. You don't get bored in this movie. It's really like entertaining from start to finish. Such a cool story with the vibranium and everything, and Wakanda. It's just fabulous, and probably one of the reasons I'm putting it so high is because it's the movie that made me fall in love with the MCU, so I have to give it credit for that, you know, because otherwise I would probably not be here today doing these videos for you. So yeah, that's why I love Black Panther so much. Can't wait to see a sequel to that movie, even though I have no idea what they'll do. But I'm sure they'll do something fantastic. And the movie at the top of my list is Avengers Endgame. Such a fantastic movie. Usually when I have that much like expectation for a movie, I'm always kind of disappointed. I'm like, oh, it was not as good as I thought. But for this one, it truly exceeded all expectations I had. It's truly the greatest movie so far. Only watched it once in theater, but I wish I could have seen more time. But when it will get released either in Blu-ray or digital, I'll be able to watch the movie again and again and again, because it's truly that great. Super funny movie, especially for the first half of it, dealing with time travel, with a lot of Back to the Future references, which is my favorite movie of all time. So I really enjoyed that, especially with the conversation with Tony Stark and his father. That was hilarious, and the ending is so sad, but they did it perfectly, so I'm not mad. And that fight scene with all the aliens, all the Avengers, and everyone, wow, even better than the big battle of Wakanda in Avengers Infinity War. So I think I'm done with that ranking, guys. I already spoke way too much. Don't bash on me too much. I'm not that guy who knows everything about Marvel, and I'm only here to have fun. So yeah, if you have time, tell me what your list looks like. That would be cool to know. Or just tell me your top 5 to see if we agree. But I'm sure a lot of people will rank the Thor movie way higher than I did. But so that's how my list. That's how my list looks. Some movie might move up or down a bit, but that's pretty much what I think. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. If you have enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe. It would be cool to have some new faces on this channel, and if there's a lot of you who enjoyed it, I might do some other videos like this one. I don't know what yet, but I'll figure something out for sure. So see you later, guys.